Welcome back to Alfonso's Phone Collection. Sorry for not doing much phone collection videos as of right now. The last time I did was on Princess Daisy's 35th anniversary back in April 21st. I didn't acquire much devices, but I have 152 phones now, and I have them all arranged randomly this time. So to start off, we have the Skillif tablet. Nothing much to say about it other than the battery is bad. Here's a Nokia 1600 on TMN. By the way, charging most of these, so expecting most of these to turn on. Just expecting very few of them to be dead. Here's a Nokia 6020 on TMN. Here's a Nokia C101. One of my two. This one I don't know the carrier it is on. Here's an Alcatel One Touch Pop C1. I forgot what carrier this is on, but I believe this was on Vodafone. It got some dead pixels. Here's a Nokia Lumia 610 on Vodafone. Here's a Motorola V980 on Vodafone. Here's a Vodafone 875. Well, on Vodafone, this is a rebranded Alcatel phone. Here's one of my two Huawei G6s. Here's a Nokia 8310. This one here is on lock. This one only works on the charger. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Core Plus on Mail. The AMOLED is it has a broken AMOLED, but otherwise it does work. Here's a BlackBerry 8900 on Vodafone. Here's a Motorola C350 also on Vodafone. Here's an LG Shine on TMN. This one works, I just need a charger. Here's a Nokia 7110. I forgot what carrier this is on. Here's one of my two Nokia's 3310s. This one here is on Optimus, and it is dead. Here's one of my two Nokia. This is just my single. This is my Nokia C2. This one here is unlocked. I got this here in the phone lot, in the first phone lot. Here's a Sony Ericsson V800 on Vodafone. Here's a Huawei PA Lite 2017. This one here has a bad battery and the case broke. Here's a Mubicom G145 on Telecel. Here's a Wiko Luby 5. Nothing to say about it. The screen is having some issues. Here's a Huawei P9 Lite Mini. I don't know the carrier this is on. I also don't know the carrier for this phone either. This is my Motorola C139. This one here is untested. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Young 2. Here's an LG Maximo L4 on Mail. It's in a blue loop. Here's a Nokia 5530 Express Music. I forgot what carrier it is on. I don't know the carrier actually. Here's an Alcatel One Touch Easy on TMN. Here's one of my three Nokia's 1100s. This here is on Telcel. Here's a Huawei Y5P. Let me just restart this phone. There we go. Here's a Huawei P30 Lite 2019. This is my main phone, of course, since April. Here's an LG K22. This is my brother's main phone. There's an Optimus Cine on Optimus. This is a ZTG N295, of course. There's a Nokia 6080 on TMN. Here's another Nokia C101. I don't really care, this one's on either. Here's an Alcatel 1068D. I don't know the carrier this is on, possibly unlocked. Here's a Comft 180. This one, it's unlocked. Here's another Nokia. This one does not work. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Phone Duos Brazilian phone. Here's an LG Maximo L5. This one here is on Nosh. Maybe, oh, this is on Optimus, not Nosh. Actually, both, because Optimus was Optimus until Nosh bought it in 2014. Here's a Nokia 210 on Nosh. Here's an Alcatel 1068G. The only difference between the Alcatel 1068D and the 1066G is that the Alcatel 1068D is dual SIM and the 1066G is not. I'm just gonna shut off this here because it has low battery. Here's one of my two Bosch GSM 509s. I don't know the carrier it is on because it's untested. Here's a Samsung SGH R210S on TMN. Here's the Parrot Astro Mini. Nothing to say about it. Here's a Nokia 3330. This one here is unlocked. Here's a Motorola V50. I don't know what carrier this is on. Here's an Alcatel 1046G on TCT Mobile. Here's a Alcatel, actually not an Alcatel, this is a Sony Ericsson. This is the T280i. Don't know the carrier it is on. Here's an Alcatel 3025X. This one might be unlocked. Here's my Telegen 711 on Optimus. This works, I just need a charger. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Trend 2 Lite on Nosh. And this one is untested, it has a broken charger port. Here's a Hajnook Global Handy. This one here is untested. Here's a ZTE Blade L9. Here's an Alcatel OT E265 on TMN. Here's the Samsung E1200. I forgot. This is an Italian phone. It does not have the Portuguese option. Let me just change the language to Italian. So it only has German, English, and Italian. Let's just put to Italian. Here's one of my two Nokia's 3410s. This one here is unlocked. Here's a Nokia 2720, the original 2720. This one is on TMN. Here's a Samsung Star. This one stopped acting up. This one here is also on TMN. Here's one of my two PSP 1004s. Nothing to say about it other than it's not charged, it's dead. Here's an Ericsson GF 197. This one here is untested. It's a really heavy phone. Here's a Nokia 5110. This one here is unlocked. Here's a Nokia 2330 Classic. This one here is on TMN. Got this one here along with the 8310. Here's a Samsung SGH X480. This works. I just need a battery. Yes, this is on TMN. I managed to get it to work without a battery. Here's a Mobiware C11 on Osh. Here's one of my two Nokia's 5800s. This one here is on Vodafone. Here's a Wiko U-Feel. Here's another Nokia 3410. This one here is on Optimus. Here's an Alcatel HC800. I don't know what carrier this is on. Here's a Fujitsu phone. This is one of my only house phones I have. You'll see another house phone, which is in the next row. Here's a Nokia 6069 on Vodafone. Doesn't have a battery in it. Here's a TMN EZ50. This one also doesn't have a battery in it. I put the battery from this phone to this phone here. Here's a Nokia 2600 Classic. This one here, okay, I don't have nothing to say about it. Here's a Nokia 1208, one of my two. This one here is on TMN. Here's a Sharp GX29 on Vodafone. Here's the Selectcal Type tablet. Nothing to say about it as well. Here's a Siemens Gigaset. This is another house phone I have. Here's a Bosch GSM 509. This is another one of them. Here's a Sony Ericsson Yendo. This one I don't know what carrier this is on. This works, I just need a new battery because I lost the other battery. Here's a Motorola Flare. I forgot what carrier this is on. I don't know actually. Here's a Lake New York phone. I don't know what model this is. It does not work. Here's an Ericsson GA628. This one here is untested. This here is the first phone of the collection. This is the Nokia 2760. I forgot what carrier this is on as well. Here's a Philips Dega. Here's a Nokia N80 on Optimus. It's dead, so I will not turn it on. Here's a Nokia 6280. This one here is unlocked. This one works, doesn't have a battery in it, and the flex screen died. It was that the flex cable is broken. Here's a i9 3G. This one works, I just need a charger. Here's an LG L3100. This one works, I just don't have the battery in it right now. Here's a Sharp GX17. This one is untested. It's on. I like how I made this row, starting with a Sharp phone and end with a Sharp phone. Anyway, continuing on to the video. Here's a Samsung SGH C180 on TMN. This one works. It's just dead. Here's a Samsung SGH C270. This one probably is unlocked. Dead. Here's a Nokia 7070. This one also works, it just doesn't have an LCD, so I will not turn it on. Here's a Samsung GT E1150i. I don't know what carrier this one is on either. It doesn't have a battery right now. Here's this E-Star Beauty 3. This one is dead. Here's one of my two Samsungs E1200Is. Doesn't have a battery right now. Here's a Nokia C205 on Vodafone. Here's another PSP 1004. Here's an LG Leon. This one actually turns on. There's another Nokia 5800. This one here is on Vodafone as well. Here's a Nokia 1100. This is another one of them. This is the first one I got. This one right there is the third one I got. Here's a Nokia 3100. This one does not have a battery. It just needs a power button and that's it. Here's a Nokia 2680 Slide on Optimus. Here's a Wiko F100. Here's a Nokia 1200. This one here is unlocked. Here's a Alcatel Wanta GCDB. This one here is on TMN. This is my Nokia 6230i. I managed to reset it. But anyway, it does not have a battery in it right now. Let me just see if no, it does not. And with this one, it's on on-off, which was from TMN. Currently Mel. Here's one of my two Samsung Corby TXTs. This one here is on TMN. Here's a Samsung E120i. I don't know what carrier this is on. Possibly on Vodafone. I don't know. This one does. I don't know if this has a battery in it. No, it doesn't. Here's an iPhone 4. Nothing to say about it. Here's a Mel Tab 2. Mel Tablet 2. Nothing to say about it. Here's an Alcatel One Touch 306, I think it is, on Vodafone, and the Huawei Ascend Wi-Fi 30 on Mel. Here's a Huawei Ascend G610 right here. I don't know what carrier this is on. Here's an Ericsson T10s. This one here is untested. Here's a Samsung Chat 222 on TMN. This one here is locked. Here's two tablets here. Nexus 7, I think it is. I forgot. And an E-Star Beauty 3. This one works, but it is dead, and this one here does not work. Here's another Corby TXT. I pulled out the key, this enter key, and put in my other Corby TXT because the key of the other Corby fell, but not a big deal. So that's why I have two Corby TXTs. Here's an LF phone. I sometimes confuse this phone with the Blueboo D1 in the last row. Here's a Nokia 3650. This one here is unlocked. The SIM card slot is broken. One yellow part here is missing. Here's an Alcatel Pixie 4. I need to find the battery. Here's this Vodafone house phone. This one here is a house phone as well. Another one of these house phones. Here's an Acer G520. This one here is untested. Here's a an AG GSM Teletol phone. Yeah, I call this one the AG GSM in my first phone collection videos. Anyway, this is the Telet GM240B. Just calling it back to AG GSM. But yeah, I also used to call this one here the Telet AG phone until this was the Telet GM240B. Actually, this is the GM711. Here's the ZTE Hello Kitty phone, the GX760 on Optimus. This one here actually works. The battery was bloated, so I threw it out. Here's a Nokia 7360, a Samsung E1070, and one of my two Motorola Razrs. They work. The 7360 is unlocked and it does not have a battery. The Samsung E1070 is also unlocked and it works. And the Motorola Razr V3 is dead. He's dead. Here's the Samsung mounted slider. Here's a Nokia 3210. This one here doesn't work, sadly. Here's an Alcatel OT255, also on TCT Mobile. Here's another Nokia 1208 and my only Sony Ericsson J120i. Nothing to say about him, but this Nokia 1208 here is on Vodafone. Yeah, this is also another Vodafone device. This here is a Wiko Sync line, one of the first phones of the collection. Here's a Nokia 100, one of my two of them. Nothing to say about it. And now we're moving on to the last row of phones. Here's a Samsung SGH C140 on TMN. No battery right now. Here's another one of the first phones of the collection. This is a Siemens C65. This one is untested. Here's another Huawei G6. This one here is on TMN. It actually works. I don't know if it will die. I don't know. Nope, it won't. Here's my third Nokia 1100. This is the second one I got. Nothing to say about it. Here's the Motorola U6. This one here works. It's just dead. Here's a TMN EZ50. Actually not 50, this is the EZ10. Here's an Alcatel One Touch Max, one of my two. I got this one here along with another Alcatel One Touch Max, a Nokia 7110, a Blueboot D1, and a Nokia 1600. Here's a Motorola W375. This was the second phone of the collection. Nothing to say about it other than it works, but it is dead. It didn't get charged for a year and a half. Here's another Nokia 100, a Pano P40-100, and a Motorola Razr, another Motorola Razr. Nothing to say about them, other than that this here is on Vodafone, this one here is unlocked, and this one here probably is also unlocked. Here's the Sony Ericsson W205. Nothing to say about it other than I got it to work. I just need a charger for it. I had to turn off the mounted slider because of low battery. Here's this tiny telephone. Also, nothing to say about it. Here is the Nokia N-Gage. This one also works. This does not have a battery in it. Here's a Samsung E1120 and a Sony Ericsson QuickShare. Nothing to say about them either. Other than the QuickShare, I just need a charger, and for the Samsung E1120, it works. To the last four phones here, I have this Blueboot D1. This one does not work. A Zoom Q6. This one here works, but doesn't have a battery. Another Alcatel One Touch Max, also untested. And lastly but not least, my Ericsson T20E. This one here is untested. Now let's just turn off the phones. except these two phones, of course. I'll just leave them on. So hope you guys enjoyed the phone collection for August 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed. Also, the finale of XHC Mini is coming in a few days, so stay tuned for that.